Guys, how's it going? Carl here from Northcoast Constrictors. So I've been doing a lot of ball python videos lately, and I've been trying to work out what would be some cool new content. And I realized I haven't done a retic video for a while, and especially I haven't done one on this beautiful girl. So if you guys are familiar with my channel, and if you've been watching me for a couple of months, then you'll know who this is. This is Honey, my lavender albino retic. He's got me nice and anchored here around my arm. You can see how nice and big and thick she's getting. Okay, if you go right back to my first videos, you'll see she was just a little thing. I got her when I think she was probably about let's see how big. I reckon she was about as long as this ruler, which is 60 centimeters. I would say she's well over 7 feet now, easily. And yeah, so I thought I'm gonna do a couple of I'll do a video on a couple of these retics. She is, I don't like to feed and not hold, so I haven't held her for a while and she's due for a feed. So before I feed her, I want to just do a little bit of socializing with her, which is what I'm doing now. Do a little bit of an educational video. So for those of you who are new to the channel, welcome, good to have you. My name is Carl. I own Northcoast Constrictors in South Africa. I breed predominantly ball pythons. This room is my ball python room. And then in another room I've got retics and Dumerals boas. In fact, I do have 2 retics and 2 big tubs down there, but they're still yearlings. Okay, now this girl has got a nice grip on me. So, but I've got as a passion, I've got 6 reticulated pythons. This is one of them. I've got 4 females and 2 males. This is Honey. She's a lavender albino, 100% het genetic stripe. She's about 4 years old. She's not as big as what she could be for 4 years old, and the reason for that is I bought her from a pet shop. And the pet shop was keeping her in a condition, but basically not bad condition because they were very hygienic, okay? But as far as their feeding regime went, it was just maintenance feeding, okay? They didn't want the snake to grow. They didn't want the retic to grow. It's very difficult to sell a retic, especially here in South Africa, in a pet shop. Generally, retics are sold amongst breeders. They're very big snakes. They are for snakes that are they're not beginner snakes at all. So if you do have a retic, you should have owned a good couple of other snakes before. Like I would preferably say ball pythons, as a boa constrictor. Dumerals boa would probably be a good step up from a ball python, and then move on to maybe a dwarf retic, or or something like that, okay? But at least have some kind of experience with retics, with constrictors, before you don't just jump into the deep end, because these snakes get up to 20 feet, if not longer. She's not even half the size of what she's going to be. In fact, she can get up to, this is probably about a third of the size she can get to. I know retics getting over 20 feet, 23 feet. I've even heard the mythical 27-foot retic in captivity before, somewhere in America, the longest recorded one. But generally between 15 and 18 feet is kind of like the average. And as I say, she's about 7 feet, maybe going on 8 feet now. So she's stunning. You see, the way I socialize my snakes, and especially my retics, is I purposely touch the head. And the reason for that is I don't want my snakes to be head shy. Now, I will be pulling out some other retics for you. and there are two other retics that are, well, one particularly that I don't do that with yet. I'm still establishing trust with them. They are the latest two retics I've got, but I didn't have them from babies. I had them as from 5-year-old, 4-year-old, and 5-year-old sub-adults. They're 9 and 10 feet respectively. They're probably hitting, the one is, when I got them, they're probably about 10 and 11 feet now. And I'm going to pull those girls out for you now. I'm just going to take Honey here, and I'm going to put her back in her enclosure. But what a beautiful snake. Look at that lavender albino. You can see the lavenders there. Another snake that I'm going to pull out is a tiger lavender albino. And what you'll notice on the tiger lavender albino, which is the biggest retic that I've got, the lavenders won't be as purple. You know, lavender is a combination between a white albino and a purple albino. Okay, so that's how you get the lavender color. It's like a slightly faded out purple. But she's not a white albino, although she probably looks like she's a tiger white albino, white face, but she isn't. She's a lavender. She's just a lot lighter than this girl. Anyway, let me go and get Honey here back into her enclosure, and I'll bring back one of the other. I'll then come and show you two of the juvenile retics, and then I'll end off with two of the big girls. Okay, so welcome back. Let me just get the light switched on here. Okay, so, whoa, shit, without even 2 seconds, and he's already making a break for it. These snakes can literally get in, like literally, that's my incubator. Find a gap, and off he goes. That's a reticulated python for you guys. They will find a gap. Very busy snakes, very, very busy snakes. Obviously my retics are kept in another room. And this is my ball python room. That's my incubator door there. I've got about a gap that much. So yeah, very inquisitive snake, as you can see. The iridescence on this boy is amazing. I wish the camera could pick it up. It never does. The camera never does it justice. I don't have a torch here. Okay, so, let me see if this will pick it up. So this is a motley het albino. There you can slightly see some of the iridescence there. I mean, imagine a full light on him, like if he's in his enclosure, you know, that's how he sparkles. He sparkles like that. Stunning, absolutely stunning. So he's an absolute character, this snake. I think he's a little bit dumb, to be honest. Yeah, you just French kissed me. I got a tongue right on my tongue, open mouth. Okay, now Kratos over here is an incredible snake. Okay, now you see the trust that I've established with this snake. Okay, you'll see I won't do that with two of my other retics. You saw Honey earlier. I let her get close to my face. Kratos here I will let get close to my face because he's gentle and he's socialized. So he knows now it's handling time, it's not food time. He does not see me as a threat. He only knows me, I'm a safe space. He's inquisitive right now. He's excited. He wants to go and explore. But what a beautiful snake. Now, Kratos now would be about 6 feet, I would say. I haven't measured him. It's so difficult to measure these snakes. But I would easily put Kratos at 5.5, 6 feet. And yeah, I would put him about 6 feet. Kratos is going to breed for me next year. And Kratos is going to breed to a tiger lavender albino. Now, Kratos here is a visual motley het albino. So the goal of that project is to produce motley tiger albinos. And there'll be a combination of white albino, white phase, purple phase, lavender phase. We don't know. Okay, so this is not what I'm doing now, do not do this at home if you are a new snake keeper. I know my snake. The fact that he's wrapped around my neck like this is a no-no. But I know that I'm okay with him. I'm still strong enough to be able to understand that he's not trying to do anything. All he's doing is just trying to look up at the spinning fan. He likes to explore. He loves the feel of the stubble on my head, on his belly. He loves to go up on my head like this. And yeah, he's an absolute character. I love him to bits. He really is. He's a fantastic snake to have. He eats like an absolute machine. He is wonderful with people. He's a fantastic snake. And yeah, he's going to breed next year. Next year, you know, as I say, I'm predominantly a ball python breeder. Next year will be my first season breeding retics. As I say, I've got 6 retics in total. 4 of them are females, 2 are males. And the next 2 I'm bringing out are youngsters. They're very, very high-end genetics, or they're heterozygous for very high-end genetics. But I'll show you, I'll say that for the next video. So now that we've seen Kratos here, my motley boy, motley het albino, I'm going to go and put him back in his enclosure, and we're going to pull out another 2 retics that are in this room. Okay, welcome back. So now we've got one of the small retics, about 18 months old. Yes, not big for a 18-month-old retic at all, but also from a breeder that it's very difficult to sell retics here. So the bigger they are, the more they eat, the more expensive it becomes to keep them and home them. So a lot of breeders will just sustain the feeding. If I had bred this retic myself, would be double the size, or 1.5 times at least the size. Okay, now what we are holding here is my male motley purple albino het titanium, in other words citron. Het titanium, another word for het titanium is citron. Now this is a beautiful, beautiful example of a snake. Visual motley purple albino het titanium. I have 2 of these. One is a male. This is the male. His name is Asclepius. And the other is a female. Her name is Eden. They are identical. They are both motley purple albino het titaniums. I plan to breed them together in about 4 years time, 3.5 years time, 4 years time, to produce visual motley purple albino titaniums. If they're hoping to prove they're both het titaniums, so the goal of that pairing is to produce visual titaniums, and with either motley or without motley, but both of them being recessive for purple albino, the babies will be purple albino titaniums, or motley purple albino titaniums. That will be something, a real sight to behold. Or just lavender albino, purple albino titaniums. So let me go and get him back in his. He's in a tub at the moment. Both of these snakes are in tubs. They are not. They're still growing out. That's pretty good over here. She's a real stunner. She's a little bit smaller, as you can see. Identical snake. Her colors are a little bit more deeper, a little more orange. Her head's a bit whiter. Stunning motley purple albino het titanium. Stunning snake. I bought these snakes with a specific goal in mind, but these are very, very long-term projects. Very, very long-term projects. That male is also going to go to the last 2 retics that I bring out now. One of them, you'll see, I'll give you the morphs when I pull them out. So yeah, so guys, so these are our 2 smallest retics. They are about 4 and a bit feet long. They got fed about 3 days ago. Their metabolic rate is ridiculous. It looks like they haven't eaten. They could probably eat every 3 days, but you obviously don't want to do that. I do feed once every 7 to 10 days, these snakes. The bigger ones, once every 2 weeks. A nice big meal every 2 weeks. And as they get even bigger, probably stretch out to once every 3 weeks. Okay, so let me go ahead. This is Eden. This is my motley purple albino het titanium female reticulated python. Isn't she something to behold? Beautiful snake. So let me go ahead and get in a closure. Now I'm going to start bringing out the big ones. And when I say the big ones, they're still only half the size that they're going to get to. It's going to be a bit of a workout. They are in another room, so I'm doing this video in stages. So yeah, hang tight for the next snake. See, this is what happens when you've got a retic in the ball python room and you put it on the floor for a second and then they decide that they want to go under the racks. Do not give me that look. I had to move all these racks because she made a beeline. They just want to get underneath everything. They want to get into a small tight space, and they are a mission. So I wanted to try and show you how long she was. All I can do is show you how thick she is. Trying to compare. Should put a bicep here for you. But yeah, anyway, she's about 11 feet. And I think it's about time. I was going to pull out my golden child, purple albino. This is a lavender albino. I know she looks like she's a white face, but she isn't. She's a very light lavender albino. She has made me have to pull out all my racks now because she disappeared. I put her down on the ground and she just went straight under the racks. And I couldn't pull her out. I had to let her come out by the front door there. And then I had to get her out, thank goodness, because when these things get wrapped around something and you want to try and get them off, that's another whole story. So I wanted to make this video, guys, and let that be a lesson. Okay, that's nothing. This is minor. This is absolutely minor. If you want to breed snakes, if you want to have retics, and if you want to have, I mean, ball pythons is one thing, guys. Ball pythons is one thing. Retics is another whole story. Okay. I'm just putting all my racks back into place here. I'll fix them up properly just now. She made a beeline for underneath there, and she came out on the other side. And thank goodness it wasn't too much maneuvering. But she just wants to get out and go for it and get exercise. It's actually good exercise for her because she's been lying around for the last, I think it's been about a week now since she's had a meal. This one here is not as bad. When I say not as bad, my golden child, although she's cage aggressive, so when I try and get her out the cage, she goes mad. She bites, she goes mad, she'll whatever. This one here, I can still bring her up to my face. Don't do that at home, guys. Please, disclaimer, please don't go and buy yourself a big retic and get it close to your face. I specifically socialize my retics so that they're not head shy. I do that on purpose, okay, so that they don't get nervous when I put my hands around their head, okay? And it's for safety reasons, okay? I've got my girlfriend behind the camera there. This snake is getting to the point now where it's better to have 2 people in the room recording or when you're handling, because this girl is strong. Trust me, this is 10 to 11 feet of pure muscle. She is strong, and I'll tell you, she's gonna be twice the size. Okay, so where is she? I can feel her buggering around somewhere here. Where's her head? Okay, it's time to take Tallulah here. Okay, my tiger, lemon albino. It's amazing how they always want to be away from the camera. Like, you want to try and get a headshot, and all they want to do is face the other direction. Okay? Oh, God. Can I stand over here? Maybe we can get it a pose here. What you doing? She's obviously hiding behind my back, eh?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, breathe.
Oh, I can hear that she's breathing very heavily. Am I giving you a bit of a workout? She's got some big deep breaths. Big deep breaths. Look at the size of this girl. And she's stunning it. Oh. Alright. Okay, guys. I think that's about it. She's wanting to do her own thing, and I'm starting to get a little... I want to fix up my snake racks here. So guys, from me, that's it for the retics. I'll save the golden child for another video at a later stage when she's come out of shed, probably about 2 weeks time. So Cole, Northcoast Constrictors, over and out.